And it's hard enjoying certain monsters in horror when Doctor Who delivers on them so poorly. After all, ghosts have been represented in the form of the Geth. Vampires have appeared many times in varying quality. Mummies popped up alongside a god and on a space train, and Frankenstein's monster got its nod through Morbius. But it wasn't until the revival of the show that it properly tackled the world of werewolves. There had been one earlier attempt, but it felt half-baked. The werewolf element not really being the main feature, a wasted opportunity. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're diving into the snarling shadows of the Vulpanans, Doctor Who's answer to the werewolf mythos. Vulpanans were no mere curse-bearing peasants changing at the full moon. They were a full civilization, their very bloodline tied to the gravitational pull of 4 moons, shaping lycanthropy into an evolutionary trait. But not all Vulpanans changed. Status and power came from purity of blood, pure blood alphas standing atop the hierarchy, while omegas were despised, treated as little better than beasts. 4 great houses ruled through fear and strength, noble wolf packs presiding over sprawling forests. To be noble was to hunt, to be peasant was to serve. Science and medicine were for the low-born, dismissed as tools for those who could not tear their prey with tooth and claw. And justice? Justice was meted out in the great hunts, where criminals were loosed into the forests and torn apart beneath silver-lit skies. For centuries, Vulpanans thrived in this violent order, but their planet was more than teeth and blood. It was rich in minerals and placed strategically at the center of the galaxy. The 4 great houses thought themselves untouchable. Alien races, fearful of the wolves, gave the planet a wide berth. But the moons always hid secrets. Long ago, a dark 5th moon haunted their skies, disturbing their perfect balance. Whispers said its influence ran deeper than the nobles cared to admit, twisting packs, breeding madness, and sowing a hunger even the great alphas could not control. The forests of Vulpana were alive with whispers. When the wind swept through the canopy of blackwood trees, it carried the mournful howls of the 4 great houses, each tied to one of the silver moons above. To outsiders, Vulpana was a planet of beauty. Endless rivers reflecting moonlight, jagged peaks silhouetted against blood-red skies, and citadels carved from volcanic stone. To those who lived within, it was a prison of bloodlines, status, and a curse that bound them tighter than chains. The Vulpanans were divided by nature itself. Pure-blood alphas, towering and majestic, bore coats of silver or obsidian when they transformed beneath the moons. They ruled the great houses like monarchs, dispensing law with teeth and claw. The omegas, by contrast, were weakly cursed, often unable to transform at all, or reduced to mangled half-shapes that brought shame to their families. They were servants, prey, or worse fodder for the hunts. Every season, when the moons aligned, criminals and omegas were loosed into the forests where packs of nobles would descend upon them in ritual slaughter. But the planet's curse was deeper than any noble ritual. Ancient songs whispered of a 5th moon, a shadow that lingered just beyond sight, a black star that disrupted the harmony of the others. When it drew close, madness stirred in the blood. Wolves would tear into their own kin, unable to restrain the frenzy. Whole villages would vanish overnight, reduced to bone and crimson mist, their screams drowned out by lupine roars echoing across the valleys. The nobles denied it, of course. They cloaked the truth in ceremony and myth, insisting the 5th moon was a superstition. Yet the peasants knew better, and their fireside tales spoke of the dark hunt when no pack was safe and no prayer could save the soul. The great houses themselves grew decadent. Alphas wrapped in furs drank from chalices of hunted blood, draping their keeps in bones of their kills. They scorned technology, declaring it beneath the nobility, a pursuit for cowards and peasants. Medicine, science, even farming were deemed unworthy. Why cultivate when prey could be torn from the throats of weaker beings? Yet beneath their arrogance, their power waned. The mineral riches of Vulpana, once protected by lupine ferocity, now drew the eyes of alien empires. The Sontarans came first, probing for weakness, but withdrew when their ranks were shredded by coordinated wolf packs. The draconian fleets followed, losing countless soldiers to the forests, yet the nobles grew complacent, boasting that none could conquer wolves beneath 4 moons. They forgot the 5th. When the hidden moon crept once more into orbit, the skies blackened. Howls turned into screams, packs turned on each other, alphas slaughtering betas, families tearing themselves apart, rivers ran thick with fur and gore. Even the nobles who had once hunted for sport found themselves hunted in turn, and in that chaos the alien armadas returned. They did not need to break Vulpana, the wolves had done it themselves. The great houses burned. Their banners, once shimmering under moonlight, were dragged through blood and ash. Their citadels collapsed under bombardments as invaders harvested the mineral veins of the planet, enslaving omegas and scattering the survivors into the wilds. Some packs fled into the mountains, carrying their ancient rights with them. Others bent the knee to alien masters, trading loyalty for survival. But legends say a fragment of the 5th moon still lingers, hidden somewhere in the dark forests of Domusalba, whispering to those who hunt beneath its gaze. The Vulpanans, though scattered and broken, are not gone. Their curse, it lives on, a bloodline tied to the stars themselves. And when the moons align once more, the great hunt may rise again. In conclusion, Doctor Who has always dabbled in monsters, but with werewolves it never truly sank its teeth in. The Vulpanans are a ready-made mythology just begging for a proper story, one that balances sci-fi with Gothic horror, and finally gives the werewolves of the universe the justice they deserve. But of course, this is modern Doctor Who, so the odds of them handling it properly, slimmer than a werewolf sniffing out spaghetti. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.